Okay, you guys, the day has arrived. We're making some super cute cowgirl earrings. Yippee-ki-yay! Super excited to finally get here to make this earring. We're not going to be doing a bunch of jibber-jabbering, so let's go ahead and get started. So I already showed you in the pre-video the tools and the things that we're going to need. So we got these super cute boot beads. I'm going to be using those. I'm not sure which colors yet, but I'm leaning towards the copper boot and the brass boot. These came from Hobby Lobby. This is not the original piece that was attached to it. I just wanted to close them back up. We're gonna be using some silver beads, some turquoise wooden beads. Not sure if it's gonna be those. These are too big, but just for kicks and giggles, I wanted to show you what color we're gonna be using. Then we're gonna be using our wood pieces that we got from Michael's. You already know that. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna be using a brush to do any of the paints. You're gonna need a paint palette, and I have all my paints set out over to the side. 20 million colors, all that represent a sunset scene to me. Also, right quick, hold on. Using my supplies and thought they were so cute. Look, a baby and a mama. Oh my gosh. Right. At least in my mind, that's how they look. I was like, look, little baby and mama findings. So I'm not sure that we're gonna use them in this particular design, but we are gonna use them in a design because look how cute I thought they would be. This is how my brain works, right? So look how pretty that is. And then the little baby one could actually go at the bottom, and now you have like almost an indigenous or tribal type earring. That's the only reason I'm not sure if we're gonna use them or not, only because this is a Western theme, right? So I'm gonna go and get all the paint shaken up, and I was trying to decide if I'm gonna do like finger smearing paint versus a brush, because I kind of want it to be, not kinda, it is going to be a desert scene, but I'm trying to decide if I want to do it as like smudge looking paint or if I wanted to do like traditional brush strokes. And also I'm trying to figure out, too much, I'm rambling. So let's get started. I'm gonna go shake up my paint so you'll know what colors I'm using. I'm gonna set them up here so you can take a screenshot, because I'm so bad about typing out descriptions of the paints and what have you. So I don't have a favorite paint, but if I had to pick one because someone asked me, I would say Americana. The multi-surface satin is my favorite paint. It has great pigmentation. I just love how it turns out. And I'm not sure I'm gonna be using all these colors, so let's not be random. Let's sit these over here. For sure, I know I'm gonna use those, right? Because these are desert-like. I also like the brown and the kind of terracotta one over here. So what I'm envisioning is like on these is like the sand down here, a little bit of greenery, like some cactus or something, like a canyon setting up in here, like what the Grand Canyon would look like some of those high mountains in like a terracotta color, and then like a little sunset type scene. That's what I'm envisioning, but I want to make it easy because I want everyone to be able to do it. Now, mind you, we all have different skill levels. You'll probably be on here like Van Gogh. I'm not. I'm gonna be on here like Garlinda, go. And that's how we're gonna get painted. So I'm gonna shake the paint up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the bases first so I can let the base colors dry while I'm out selling homes today. And then so when I come back and it keeps rolling, you'll think I did it all the way through unless my clothes change. And then you'll be like, she didn't finish that video all in one setting. So let's get started. A couple of other colors I wanted to use, but because I'm gonna have to run, I didn't want them all running together in here. So I think I need to get a second paint palette. So what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna do the bases, and I just envision kind of doing an ombre technique with the paint. So what I'm gonna do on here is, I'm sorry, I was trying to get rid of a message. So I'm gonna start with this kind of tan color right here, which is actually one of my favorite colors, and that one is actually Desert Sand. That's funny, I didn't even realize the name of it, by Americana. So we're gonna use the Desert Sand, and we're just gonna start out putting it here on the base of the earring. I don't want a heavy coat because I more want this to be like a wash. So I'm just smushing it on there like that, and I don't know why I want it to be that way. That's just kind of how I envision this particular earring, of being like a wash of color, which is why I decided I didn't want to do a paintbrush technique. And I normally don't like messy crafts, but I'm just in the mood today. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna create this little wash down here. And what I'm gonna do is when we're creating the base color of the earring is all the other details like the little cactus I wanna put on here. I could use a cactus sticker that I have, but I think that'll be too much going on with the boot that we're gonna use. So I'm gonna paint a little cactus on here. I think I'll be able to keep that simple. And the canyon that we're gonna paint, like the terracotta mountainscape, we're gonna be able to put that on there. And I feel like that'll kind of look 3D like if we put it on the base with our brushes after we get this part done. So I'm gonna do the base down here, and then we're gonna do the sky. And then we'll just fill in as we go. So all of us should be able to finger paint, I'm assuming. So, and I'm making sure that I'm doing the sides too, just so the side has ample color as well. How was you all's week this week? Y'all, this week was a bear. Whew, not in a bad way, but it's just super busy. But the kids are out of school Monday, which is weird because my husband's not off work on Monday. But I'm assuming everybody doesn't follow President's Day for some reason. But so he's not off, but my babies are off, so I'm excited about that. Okay. So that's how that looks. And of course, a trusty dusty YouTube friend of mine told me to have wet wipes on the table. I always forget. Oh, and thank you, I think it was Linda. I hope I'm not saying your name wrong, but one of you gave me the recommendation to put petroleum jelly or Vaseline around the edges of my containers, specifically that triple thick that already almost ripped the skin off my fingers trying to open. So thank you for the great tips that you all give me. I totally appreciate that. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do the cream color up here, because what I wanna do is when we do the sky, so I'm thinking that I'm gonna do a cream color up here, but I realized that that blue might be just a little bit muted compared to what I wanted for the sky. So I'm gonna go get my other ocean blue kind of color, or a lighter teal, because this is more of like a robin's egg blue, and I want more of a teal blue for the sky up here. So I'm gonna go wash my hands, get some wipes. So finally listened. They only had to tell me probably twice. Maybe they told me once and I've mentioned it 2 or 3 times. So we got some wipes, which is pretty cool. So now I'm gonna use my favorite, this is my favorite color in the whole wide world, right? And this is called Sea Breeze. Incredible that that'll be my favorite color, right? Because when I tell y'all I love the beach, and whew, I love the beach, and I want a beach home. So that's part of my long-term goal. And when I say long-term, I mean like this year. So I'm believing God, I am. And so we're gonna get that shaken up. And so that's what I want to be across here. And y'all, mind you, this is something that I envision in my head. So I can't guarantee you how it's gonna turn out, but let me see what we should do right quick though. Just let me show you how the boots are gonna look at the top. So I wanna be sure and be mindful of when I'm creating the scene, what that's gonna look like. So the boot's gonna be up here, I guess, and it can just kind of hang off like that. It's gonna be the top of the earring, but I haven't decided if I'm gonna be doing it all the way down or if I'm gonna do it up and let it hang off. So I have to be mindful of the scenery and what I'm painting on here so that it doesn't conflict with the boot being on there. Make sense? So let's get some of this Sea Breeze out on in our little paint pot. And so what we're gonna do is I wanna go ahead and create the scenery up here, but I'm seriously trying to decide. Yeah, let's just let the sky meet with the earth, right? So as I'm just in my mind figuring that out. Okay, so let's let the sky, because it's gonna be a sunset scene. Not sunset like the sun going down, but you know, a desert scape. So pretty. Love how these colors look together. So let's be sure to do the edges. And again, it's just a wash, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't know where these ideas come up in my mind, but I saw those boots and I was like, I think I should do a desert scape. What are you all making today? I saw yesterday, I was looking at I listen to YouTube videos while I'm in the car, because I'm in the car a lot with real estate. And I listen to business videos, so a lot of times I'm listening to sales trainings. But I'm also always looking at either cooking videos, which then make me hungry and make me want to go spend money to fix whatever I saw online. Does that happen to you? Like, I eat with my eyes, so I get hungry when I see food, when people are cooking. So very pretty, and I love how it's just gradiated together, no rhyme or reason. And but anyway, I saw someone using old jewelry to make, like their grandmother's old jewelry to make jewelry, and to make a like a jewelry kind of shadow box. But I would feel bad messing up antique jewelry like that. I don't know, but I thought it looked really pretty. But what do you all make? What are some favorite things you have that you like? For those of you that design jewelry, what are your mediums you like to work with? I used to always think I wanted to sew stuff, but again, for those of you that, welcome all my new subscribers. We're almost at 1,000. I'm gonna bust at the seams. I'm so excited. I always used to think I wanted to sew stuff, but I'm an immediate gratification kind of girl. I need to know that when I finish a project, like I can wear it within the hour. I don't want to be 5 days like quilting, 5 years. I'm not saying it takes that long, because I admire people that can do that. They have patience. Oh my gosh. I don't have that. I want immediate. I want to be able to make it, pop it on, and be able to wear it. And people be like, where'd you get that from? I love knitting and crocheting, looking at other people do it. But I don't have the patience. My aunt used to make the cutest little crochet dolls and animals. She would make elephants, and they were so cute. She made them from a 4-H pattern. She used to run a 4-H club in Enfield, outside of Enfield, North Carolina, in a little community called Bricks. My aunts and uncle used to have a farm, and we would be relegated to the farm for the summer, and trust me, we complained the entire time. But now as we get older, I'm like, gosh, I wish we had that farm and that land, and our family still in the land of the living. It was such good eating, such great food, such a good time. But you appreciate the memories, right? So this is what we're looking like. This is the scape. So I think with this one, my sky is a little further down than I wanted. So I'm just gonna go back over it a little bit. Didn't I do it with that finger? Hold on. And put a little bit of the desert back in place, so my sky is not so far down. But so far it's coming together like I envisioned in my mind. I want to put some little clouds up there at the top. So I cannot remember who gave me this wet wipe idea, but I don't know where this has been all my life, but thank you again for the recommendation. So other than I should have a paper towel for drying, which I didn't have. So I'm gonna take it up a smidge more right here. and went down too far with the sky. I got carried away, I feel like. So look, we're just gonna go over that. There we go. And look what's cool about that is it almost gives a different gradient, which leads into the sky, which I think is really cool. So, date night is tonight with Marvin Price. And we always sit on the couch. Well, I lay on one couch, he lays on the other couch. Somehow he ended up with the short couch, sweet thing. And I'm on the longer couch, even though he's taller than I am, by a little bit. And so we're gonna do that tonight. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna cook for date night. Because I normally cook, I told y'all that, on Friday nights, and I don't know what I'm gonna cook. But in the event I do get lazy and decide not to cook, I have no idea what that's gonna be. I got a little bit of blue paint in here, so let's a little bit of blue. Are y'all cooking tonight? If so, what are y'all making? Give me some ideas. So we have that put back in place. So now we're gonna let that dry. And these dry really quickly, y'all. It's not taking them a long time to dry. That's looking like an ocean scene too. So I'm gonna put just a little more over in here. And then once this dries well, I will have to use the brush to probably create the mountain scene. I don't know. maybe I could do it with my fingers. I don't know, my fingers are kind of chunky. Ooh, I finally got a 50% off coupon from Michael's. So my baby wants to go get, she's 14, but I call her baby. Do you still call your kids babies? They say, well, she says, Mom, I'm not a baby. I'm like, well, you'll always be my baby, so whatever. Right? So she wants to go get Valentine's for her friends. So I gotta do that today. And maybe I'll go use my 50% off coupon at Michael's, but I honestly just can't think of anything that I even need. So we have that one done. I feel like it's a little uneven right there in the middle, so. Cute. So we're gonna let those dry. They're pretty even. And I think right there I need to add a little bit more. Okay, so that's how they're all looking at this time. So I'm gonna let them go ahead and dry, and then we're gonna start adding some details or detailing with the cactus. I think I want some clouds in the sky. And I was gonna use like a the little stippling brush just to put some clouds in the sky. But I'm thinking what I should do is potentially go ahead and glue the boots on and let them be drying, so that way I can design around however the boot's gonna hang and I don't jam up a design later. Okay, you guys, so I decided to go ahead and glue the boots on, and then that way the glue can be drying while I'm gone. And when I get back, then I can work on finishing up the design or working on the design. So I thought I wanted to use the copper colored boots, but when I set them against the base of the colors, I feel like it's not standing out. So I'm gonna use the silver ones on those up top, and I'm gonna use the gold ones on the other pair. So for any of you that follow my videos, you already know that I use the base of a paintbrush most of the time to put glue on, because I just like to do that. I could use a toothpick, but I don't know. Toothpicks kind of, they're not my jam. So we're just gonna put some glue on the back of the boot, and we're gonna smudge it out evenly. Oh, I didn't put that on the side of the boot. I want to put that on. Let's sit that one over there. So, well, I guess I could go ahead and use it that way, since I already did it.
Also, for clarity's sake, it was Miss Leo that told me about the Vaseline around the tops of my bottles.
I thought I wanted the boots to go in the same direction, but I'm gonna do them this way since I accidentally put the glue on that side. And I guess it doesn't really matter. Personal preference. So let's put them down. And what I'm doing is making sure that I put them at the top evenly, and also, let's see how. That you make sure to leave enough hang in the back for your the loop to show. So I'm gonna sit those down, and I am gonna get a toothpick to clean them up. But that's getting on my nerves. I want my boots going in the same direction. So I'm gonna sit that over there, and I'll just be sure to get all that glue off of there in a second. Let me pay attention this time. Like, look, since it's still wet, go ahead and take it off, since I don't like it. Because I don't know, something about them going in the opposite direction just doesn't seem right. So there we go. So I'm gonna grab, let me clean this other boot off with a wet wipe. Plus I want to grab a toothpick and clean up around that one right quick. So let's clean the glue off of this boot while we still can. That way it's not all messed up. Cool. Got that done. That one's all cleaned up. Let me run and get a toothpick, and then we'll glue the gold boots down as well. Where I have to go to houses, I don't think it's that far from me. I'm going to sell at home. I always try to speak that affirmation. My parents would say, where you going today? I'm going to sell a home. Are you going to show houses? No, we're going to sell houses. Because there's a difference, right? You could just be showing them and not selling them, but no, we're going to go speak it that we're going to sell it. So that's what we're going to do. Now, what I could also do is after those dry is any glue or anything that is showing, we could always make sure those boots are looking the same. Super cute, see? Okay. And I don't know, I feel like I'm a Western wear fan in disguise. I'm not sure. But let's make sure that's hanging properly over the edge. So we gotta put them on. They're centered properly and they're gonna hang nicely. So you wanna spend a minute or two making sure. Press that down. You can skip past this part. You don't have to watch me do this. But I just want to make sure. It's straight. Okay. I'm just using the toothpick to get off the extra glue from where I squished it down. So that way when we go through to start working on our design, there's less cleanup. Okay. So I'm gonna sit those off to the side where they're on a flat surface. And you can dry. Alrighty, so now let's glue these two down and then they're gonna be drying while I'm off making shmoney. Sorry, y'all can hear my son in the kitchen. He's filling the dog's water up. So I'm gonna try to put less glue on here this time so we don't have so much to address by way of cleaning it up. Perfect. My husband was sitting in here, make jewelry at the dining room table, and one day he was like, I need to put a mask on. This glue over here is bothering me. And I was like, gosh, the glue's not that strong, and it's in a plastic bag. Like, how can that be bothering him? But I was like, well, let me just put it in the cabinet, you know, so it doesn't, because it can be strong, but like, I don't want it to be toxic. Well, come to find out, it wasn't the glue that was making him feel kind of lightheaded and nauseous. It was the, nail polish, because I had gotten Dollar Tree nail polishes for another project I had done. You might have seen where we made necklace pendants and rings with the nail polish. And y'all, I opened the top and I said, honey, is this what's bothering you? And he said, oh my God, like that is terrible. And I agree, y'all, that stuff is killer. So I put it out in the garage, but I'm not even gonna use it on my nails anymore. I'm like, because if it smells like that and it's causing lightheadedness and headaches to him, and he's just sitting here and it's in a closed container, I was like, I'm not using that anymore. Which I'm not a fan of painting my nails because they get all chippy, but I do like to sometimes, and I'm gonna try to find a healthier version of nail polish. So look at that. Super cutesy. So after we let these dry, I want to make sure they are even on the earring as they're hanging, so one's not lower than the other. So they're going to hang out to dry as well. We'll let them dry on our paper, and then when we come back, they'll be completely dry. We can go ahead and start adding our design. Hey you guys, so super excited to come back and finish these earrings. I'm sorry I'm talking so low this morning. Let me make sure the volume is up. My family's still sleeping. Okay, that's better. So look, everything's glued. The glue is dry, super cute. So we're gonna go ahead and start with our design this morning. So of course, you know, this one has the gold shoe boots. So you have your gold earring findings for those, and then I have silver earring findings for these. We're just gonna sit those off to the side. So a couple of things you're gonna need is, of course, some paint brushes. You can decide which ones you wanna use. You're gonna need a bowl of water, which I need to get off to the side. And then I have this little dotting tool because I'm gonna be making some cactus, and I wanna put like a little flower in the center of the cactus. So I have a dotting tool for that. You can get these at Dollar Tree. So you never have to spend a lot of money to start your jewelry business. totally up to you. Some people like the fancy stuff. Right, I got these brushes, I think from Michael's, and again, for no rhyme or reason, I chose these brushes this morning, but I was hoping for a shorter round brush than this one to do the cactus with, so I have more. I think I'm not going to use that, I don't think I'm going to have as much control over that as I want. So I think I'm just going to use, sorry about that, this one, and I'm going to start out just doing the cactus down here at the bottom. And so we're just gonna do like a little 3-headed cactus, and what I mean by that is, you know, the ones with the little 3 flowers, because who knew there were all these different kinds of cactus? I did. Cacti, I should say. So we're just gonna do the ones with the 3s, and then of course you could do the ones that have like the long arms that look like they're ready to hug you. I think they actually do hug and sting at the same time, or shoot out their little darts. So we're just gonna do the base of the cactus right there. Now mind you guys, I'm not Bob Ross, right? But I'm gonna do my best to make our cactus look really, really cute. So I'm not gonna rinse the brush off yet. I'm just gonna, I'm sorry, let me pull that in frame. So here are the paint colors I'm using. I had to re-pour the paint because I accidentally left it out yesterday when I went to sell a home. So God is good. I've got to get my clients under contract. So I'm just gonna put some shading on the cactus. No rhyme or reason around it. I just want the cactus to have some dimension. So I'm just putting some green around the light green color, just so to have dimension. And I'm gonna put that flower right in the center of that. So all I'm doing is like doing a little bit of a squiggle outline around the lime green portion, or bright, that's apple green, the apple green portion. And then doing a little bit along the top of that, so. The other color I had out was like a citrusy green, but I'm not gonna use that, I don't think, to do the cactus. So we're gonna finish him up that way. And I think what I wanna do is make him just a little bit larger so they actually touch and look like a cactus. And then I'm just leaving space in the middle to put the flower. And I think I'm gonna just use the same little brush for everything. So I'm also gonna cover this with, put triple thick over this when we get finished with it. And up in here, I'm hoping to do like, kind of like a sunscape, but the next thing I'm gonna do is the mountain portion of the design, because that's the part I'm most interested in trying to get done. So while we have those done, I'm gonna go ahead and take the dotting tool. I'm gonna pop it in the pink. And then you can use your paper or whatever you have to get some of the excess paint off. And all I did was put down 3 little dots. Now mind you, the green paint is still wet, so I'm just gonna plop the pink dots down in there. And these are actually gonna be the flowers. So I think that's gonna be really pretty. That's gonna give it a really pretty pop of color. Let me show you what it looks like. So really pretty. And now I'm gonna go rinse these off. I'll be right back. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is paint the canyon, or like the little mountains. And now mind y'all, I've never done this before, so no judgment here, right? All I can envision in my mind is that it looks like just some uneven kind of terracotta landscape. So that's what I'm going for. And then what I'm gonna do, and I'm just kind of mushing the paint on there. Then I'm gonna do like a black detail or a black outline to give it like some pop, so it looks like it's like a backdrop. Forgive me for being quiet. I was having a Bob Ross moment. Let me stop using him. I don't want anybody saying I'm copyright infringement. So that's all I'm doing is putting like the canyons in the background to make it look like they're off in the backdrop of the cactus. So all I did was do kind of like an upside down U. And then we just filled it in with paint. Now again, for yours, it could be a wash. I mean, you may be way more artistic than I am, but I'm just doing the scene that I envisioned for my Western wear design, because you can wear this like with a white t-shirt, a denim jacket. Like, so I'm just envisioning something super cutesy you could wear starting now. I feel like spring's almost here. We had some great weather up until this week, up until yesterday. It was just cold and rainy. So let me just put a little bit more over here. Okay, so now I'm just gonna let that dry a little bit, but because I have two different paint colors over here, so I used that color to do the little canyon. I'm using this color because it's terracotta to give some dimension to the canyon. So this is actually called terracotta. That's by Craft Smart. That's this color. And the other color is called terracotta, which is like an ochre brown, by Deco Art. So that's so funny. They're almost the same color, but one is terracotta and one is terracotta. So one is more of a brown, the other one's more like a orangey clay color. Let's see if it'll even make a difference. Yeah, when we put it in, it does stand out with some orange. And I'm just doing that because I want to give a bit of dimension to it. And I'm honestly not using any type of technique other than I'm just smushing the brush down. And now I'm going around the cactus. And that's what it looks like. So I'm probably gonna go maybe behind the cactus, I'm not sure yet, but I'm just giving some dimension by adding that orangey terracotta color there in the center. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. And all it's doing is just giving dimension to that brown paint. So everything doesn't just look brown. And then you wanna make sure whatever you're doing to one, you know, that you're doing to the other. So I'm gonna go in over here and fill in a little bit. And I noticed that my cactus is maybe just a smidge higher up on this one, but so let's mix up in here. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and take it down. And then I think I need to do a little bit more over here in terms of taking it out some more to match the other earrings. So I'm just doing that. So they'll both have a match. Okay, so now I'm gonna put that extra paint that I just used, I'm just gonna put that back inside the earring. And of course, we haven't painted the backs yet, but we are. So that's starting to look like a scape to me. And then we're gonna do some more on the other side over there. So I may do a darker brown over there, but let me rinse the brush off, we'll be right back. Actually, I decided to use the trusty dusty wet wipes my fellow crafting compadre told me about. So that prevents me having to go get the water. I really love this, this hack. Thank you for this idea. So just cleaning it off, and so I just want to look at them right quick to see where we are. I need to bring that paint down just a little bit right there. And at this point, I was actually kind of mixing the colors. And I'm literally just tapping the paint down. Just tapping it in place. I'm not even using any specific kind of strokes, because sometimes I think when we're making stuff, we just get so technical, and I'm not technical. I'm not a trained artist or any of that stuff. I just envision these things in my head, and I'm like, hey, I want to put that on an earring. So now the other brush I'm going to go and get is the little fan brush, because I want to do some clouds up there. And so even though we haven't done the other parts to the landscape yet, I just want you to know you're going to need some type of little fan or stipple brush so that you can put clouds up there. So I want to do a little bit of a darker brown color on the other side over here for some of the mountainscape, and maybe we're gonna put it further in the background. So let's take some of our brown paint, just put a little bit on the brush, and then I want these to be more of a square, I think. So all I did was draw a square, a line, and then drew up, over, and down. Same thing, just brought the line over. And all I'm doing is filling in. I was gonna do it right beside that other one, but I was like, why not just take it off in the distance? And then they can touch somewhere in the middle. Because again, we're gonna add a little bit of black in here to give the mountain some dimension. I'm gonna line it with that. You could probably do it with a marker, but I don't know how well that would contrast or go over. So look, I like that. And so all I did was some squares over there with the dark brown. I think I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit, so it comes down just a little bit more. And again, this is more of a wash and not like a full-on, you know, brush stroke paint where you're like, I gotta do 2 and 3 and 20 coats. We're not gonna do that. And then I let it touch and go right into the other landscape. So let's go ahead and do the one on the other side and do our best to match them up. So we did a line over, a line up, line over, and then we did a line down, and then we're doing a line across. And then we're just gonna fill in everything from there. And again, you can use any kind of brush that you want. I thought about too, because I have this really pretty gold color over here, that I may do a gold flower down in the corner somewhere. Ooh, and y'all, the weather here, you probably can't hear the rain outside, but it's raining, it's cold. It's pretty though. I mean, I like rainy days when I don't have to be outside, but I think I do have to go out today to get some things for dinner, because I didn't plan well yesterday. So I'm just gonna fill in a little bit of the brown, because I don't want to see all that blue in the back. So even though it doesn't have to be perfect, I don't want that blue showing through my brown mountain or canyon. So I noticed too that the mountain over here isn't as square as the other one, so I'm gonna square that off a little bit. How cute is this, you guys? So look, anybody can do this. So you notice that we're just scooshing stuff in there. That's really seriously all we're doing. Okay, so now I want to add a little bit more of the terracotta in here now that that's starting to dry, so it'll have some dimension to it. Oh, and you could use that dimensional Mod Podge. You could use that as a gloss as well, but I'm actually going to use the triple thick because I want like a really high shine gloss. So we put that in there. And now I probably could go ahead now and use the dotting tool again to make, sorry about that, a yellow flower somewhere over in here, or I could do a yellow center on the pink flower. I hadn't decided yet. So let's go ahead. This is buttercream. You already know this is one of my favorite paints. I think it's buttercream, light buttermilk, sorry. And this is by Americana. So we're gonna use these to put a few clouds across the sky. I'm gonna let it dry up there a little bit. Excuse me, y'all. Because I don't want them to, I don't want it to bleed together. So I noticed that over here, I need to go up a little bit and bring the brown over some. So I'm gonna hold this up so you can see it. So to me, it looks like a Western scape. Of course, I know there may be someone that doesn't agree, but how cool are these earrings? They're gonna be really pretty. So somehow I wanna incorporate the mustard color. So I was trying to decide what I'm gonna do over here to the left. So down in here is where I need to be figuring out what I'm gonna do. So let me think about that. I'll be right back. Okay, so I did go and add some more of the paint colors. I added a lavender, no clue what we're doing there, some gray, some black, and some chocolate brown. But what we're gonna do right quick is I'm just gonna take the little stippling brush and just wanna add some clouds. That wasn't exactly the cloud I was going for, but cool. It could be cumulus clouds. So be sure to dot your brush off if you don't want something so big. Cool. So I want to match that up, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit more paint over here. And my favorite clouds are the chunky clouds. I think they are called cumulus clouds. And my 14-year-old likes to tell me that, Mom, those are rain clouds. But I don't know, I like them. So I'm gonna do one more little set of clouds down in there. And make sure some touch over here on the side. I'm gonna get that on the boot though. So look how cute that turned out. So now it looks like a sky. I think that's really pretty. I think I wanna add just a few more in there. I didn't want it to get on the boots though, so I gotta go wipe those off right quick. Look how cute they look. Love it. So let me wipe the boot off. Because thank God it's not cement, it's just paint, right? I think the only thing I got down there was that little brown dot down there, but we're gonna cover that up with something. So let me go rinse off my fan brush, and I'm gonna get a new sheet of paper because I don't want those wet spots on my paper. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so what I decided to do before I painted on the design and then end up not liking it is I said, let's just do a little test over here and see if we're gonna like how the black outline turns out. So on my white sheet of paper, I'm just gonna do a sample of what we did over here with the canyon scene. And then what I'm gonna do is outline it in black to see if I'm gonna like it. Cause I like how the design looks right now, and I don't wanna all of a sudden get the black outline on there and then I don't like how it looks. Although I know it will give it a pop of color. I don't hate it, but let me see what the gray would look like. So this is a canyon color we have right here. That's the terracotta inset. That's the brown one beside it. I've never done this before, like done a trial just to see what something was like, but I don't want to commit to that on a design that I like and then can't stand it. So let's use the gray that we have right here. I got too much gray, but let's see if we did a gray outline. I don't think the gray outline is gonna work at all. Let me hold it up so you can see it. I know you may think I'm overthinking this, but hey, this is my earrings. I'm just kidding. So that's the black outline. That's the gray outline. I definitely don't like the gray outline. So either way, I'm gonna have to make a commitment to it. I'm gonna ask my husband, I'll be right back. So the verdict is in. Marvin said it won't make it look natural, so we're gonna leave that alone because I don't wanna jam up my design. But I did like how the chocolate brown might give us some idea. So I do have the chocolate brown color over here, and that actually is the decal art, and it's color light cinnamon. So that's the chocolate brown that we're getting ready to use and see if we would like it or not. So I'm just gonna put it somewhere on the small of the design and see what it looks like. I like that, because I just want to kind of give it like an outline so it makes it look finished, like makes the earth or the ground look finished. So that's probably what we're gonna do. I may not put it along the top of the canyons, but what we'll do is we'll just put it along the bottom so we can denote the ground from everything else. So I'll probably just fill in some here. And basically, to me, that'll give it like some dimension. Just put a few dark dots along in there. Yeah, that's pretty. I feel like that gave it some depth and some base. So let's put a little bit more over there. So let's do the same thing on this one. And this earring will go a lot faster. So for those of you that say, hey, I'm gonna try that, I'm gonna do my own seam scape, I'm sure it will go a lot faster if you already had the design planned out. But I'm just kind of making this up as I go along, per the usual. But I like the idea of, you know, making stuff, taking something from inside your head and actually putting it out on a design. I think it's pretty cool. So let's put some dots up in here just to give it some dimension up in here. The rain's also nice outside. It's like you could still be sleeping. So let's also, since we put some dots over in here, let's just kind of mix that back up with the light brown paint so it's just not looking haphazard over there. So I'm just going to fill in a little bit more of the chocolate paint over here. And let's make sure they're matched up. And then right in here where there's like a demarcation line between the canyons, I want to do something to kind of fill that in. So let me see what colors I can mix up to kind of, you know, give them a blend like they go together. So what I did was I just took some of the terracotta brown. Is that right? Yeah. No, that's terracotta. What color are you? Oh, the light cinnamon. I took some of the light cinnamon and I'm just putting it in here to basically take away that demarcation line between the canyons to make it look like they go together. And so you can just do any of this type of blending or shading that you want on your design. I'm gonna hold it up so you can see it. cute. I don't know that I should add anything else down there at the bottom. I'm trying to think of what, if I was going to add something, what would it be? And it would maybe be some grass, like right down in here, so that the cactus doesn't look like it's just kind of sitting out there by itself. So let me figure that out. We'll do that.